So the professor at the center of all of these stories coming out of left-wing media outlets, alt-left media outlets, talking about how there's a possibility that foreign actors were able to hack voting machines in 3 swing states, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, in which they influenced the outcome of the election and were able to make Trump the winner of the Electoral College vote and the president-elect, ultimately. Now this guy is basically saying in a clarification that, well, probably not. Not likely that a cyber attack actually affected the outcome of the election. So this guy named, what's his name? Alex Halderman, a computer science professor at the University of Michigan, he is admitting that he is working with the Clinton campaign and urging a recount, but now he's just decided to say, well, actually, this probably wasn't a rigged election in Trump's favor. Here's what he said in a clarification article. He said, were this year's deviations from pre-election polls the result of a cyber attack? Probably not. I believe the most likely explanation is that the polls were systematically wrong rather than the election was hacked. So he just basically came to the same conclusion that everybody else has come to. Anybody that isn't whining and setting stuff on fire in Portland, that basically the pollsters got it wrong. He goes on to say, but I don't believe that either one of these seemingly unlikely explanations is overwhelmingly more likely than the other. The only way to know whether a cyber attack changed the result is to closely examine the available physical evidence, paper ballots and voting equipment in critical states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, nobody is ever going to examine that evidence unless candidates in those states act now in the next several days to petition for recounts. So speaking of candidates petitioning for recounts, it's not Hillary Clinton, but none other than Green Party nutbar Jill Stein. She is preparing to request election recounts in battleground states over compelling evidence of voting anomalies. See, this is what happens when Clinton won, if she won the election instead of Trump, if she was able to get the Electoral College votes needed, nobody on the left would care to examine voting anomalies in battleground states. Nobody. But instead, since the result is Trump being the winner, instead we have heard nonstop crying from the left, even people who didn't even vote for Hillary, just people on the left in general, crying about how it was somehow stolen for Trump. Either it was a cyber attack from the Russians, or the most commonly mentioned complaint is the fact that Hillary Clinton won more in the popular vote, which she did, but people do not forget to mention that it does not matter if you get the edge in the popular vote. If you do not win 270 electoral votes or more, you do not become president. So what is the response? It's time to abolish the electoral college. Get rid of the electoral college. They don't want to have any understanding of why it is important to have that in our nation's constitution. It's important because the smaller states can have more of an equal say in determining who the next president of the United States will be, rather than just the mega-populated states like California, Texas, and New York. Because especially California and New York, since the votes, for the Democrat just run away by the millions. Whereas in the other states, a lot of them are decided by less than 10 points. So that is why we have an electoral college. And also, so if Jill Stein, the nutbar, the Green Party candidate, she wants to contest this, okay, whatever. Go ahead. We'll see what happens. And she's doing this because of one of the analysts being Alex Halderman, the professor I just mentioned, who just said in a clarification that a cyber attack was not likely. It was likely the pollsters who got the outcome wrong.